Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today we are sitting down and playing with a product that I have been so excited to play with, the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. It is super reflective in my ring light. I ordered this during the Sephora holiday savings event that was last month, and it took a hot minute to arrive at my doorstep, but it did just that a couple of days ago, and I've been holding off playing with it until I could sit down and film with you guys. So I have not yet applied this product. I did swatch the cream blush in here, but we are going to apply this and have fun with it. And I'm gonna give you guys kind of my thoughts. I have very high expectations of it because it is Natasha Denona and it is one of my favorite brands in terms of formula, quality pigments, beautiful payoff, blendability. Like, I don't know that I've met a Natasha Denona palette that I haven't liked. But we're gonna dive into this and just make sure that it is as great as it's hyped up to be. It does quite catch the fingerprints, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Okay, so before we dive into this, welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Elisa. I'm a former makeup artist and former MAC Cosmetics trainer. I love teaching makeup. That is where my passion lies. And I like to teach makeup in like easy to understand, practical tips and tricks that you can weave into your everyday makeup routine. So if you're into that, I hope that you subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss my future videos. All right, you guys, so before we get started in the application, let's talk a little bit about this palette, what it is, what it offers, price point, and all that good stuff. So this Natasha Denona palette comes in two shades. It comes in a light version, which is the palette that I have, and then it also comes in a dark version, which has deeper shades for deeper skin tones. Now, this offers 5 eyeshadows. You get 3 matte shades, and then you get 2 super beautiful, looking at them from the pan, they look gorgeous, shimmer, sparkly formulas. You also get a cream blush, and then you also get a highlighter powder. Now, I am not personally one to wear a lot of highlighter on the face, and when I do, I usually look for formulas that are quite a bit less highlighty than I'm seeing here in this palette, but we are gonna test it and I will give you my thoughts. That's just my personal preference. So I'm gonna have a objective view over this product and I will tell you kind of thoughts and who it might be great for. I also think it is likely gonna be beautiful on the eyes. One thing that the Sephora site calls out is it features a brand new formula that uses Japanese technology to deliver an extreme glow. So that is interesting. I can't wait to dive in. It is a brand new formula from Natasha Denona, apparently. Okay, you guys, so, and it retails for $59 at Sephora.com and also on NatashaDenona.com. So this is what the palette looks like. This is my palette. As you can see, I haven't even taken off the little sticker here, and I'm gonna actually leave this on so it's not glaring at you. The mirror's not glaring at you. It has this little plastic protector that you can lift up to access the cream blush that comes in here. And that is the one product that I have swatched here. You can see my fingerprints dive into that. When I first swatched this, when I got this, it didn't seem or feel like a cream formula. I was really confused because it really felt like a powder and I was like digging in there. Once I removed that top layer, I could feel the cream formula. So just note, I actually felt kind of silly because I was like, well, it says it's a cream blush, but it's a powder blush. I'm very confused. Once I got in there, I'm like, okay, this is a cream formula. So it has this little plastic protector to keep that cream product clean and, you know, off of the mirror. And then below you have the 5 shades. And these shades are so beautiful, very neutral, everyday shades. You get those 3 matte brown shades and they're kind of a stair step from a mid-tone to a little bit deeper to a darker. And then you get these 2 really beautiful shimmery shades here for the inner corner, outer corner. They are labeled and as far as where they suggest you apply the shadow. This is for the inner corner, this is your transition, this is your crease, this is your outer corner, and this is your smoke shade. So this could be like your liner. Now, while this is a great guide, and I think it's very helpful when brands do this, I certainly don't follow these rules. I just kind of do what I want. And I'm gonna stick to that rule today. All right, you guys, so I have all of my makeup on right now. I'm gonna go ahead and start by priming my eyes. And today we're gonna go in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer. And I'm actually just gonna put a little bit on my hand and use my finger to apply it. You can certainly use the applicator that it comes with, and I normally do. I have lash extensions and I have been trying very hard to not get makeup, especially cream products like this, into my lash extensions. So I am gonna start by going in with the transition shade for my crease, and I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 201 brush. I'm gonna use this brush because this shade is pretty light, so I can get a kind of nice diffused look from it. If this were a darker shade, I would use a smaller brush to apply it. So this is a nice shade. It's kind of a little more pink on my skin, kind of like a malt color. It's neutral, but it definitely leans like a little pink. It looks more orange in the palette, but more pink on me. So next I'm gonna take the crease shade, and I'm actually gonna apply this on the outer half of my lid. I'm using the BK Beauty 203 brush, and I'm just gonna kind of pack that and press that onto the outer half of my lid and then into my crease. So I am applying this in my crease, but I'm really packing it on the outer half of the lid. Okay, this color is going on nicely. It's definitely more of a cooler brown than the first shade we laid down. I was expecting it to have a little more warmth, but actually when it goes on the skin, or maybe it's just because it's paired next to the transition shade, it looks more of a grayish shade on me than it does in the palette. Okay, so I'm just kind of packing. What I'm gonna do after I pack and apply the product is I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna use the crease brush we originally used, and I'm just gonna kind of run over it. I didn't add anything to this brush. I'm now just using it to blend the two shades together. Ooh, that's pretty, okay. I like that, kind of like a soft, smoky look, all matte so far. Okay, that's really pretty. All right, next I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna pick up the Angie Hot and Flashy A501 brush, and I'm gonna go into my inner corner. So here are the two shimmery shades. We have, this is the outer corner, middle finger's outer corner, and ring finger is inner corner. They look kind of similar in the pan, but this is the difference. So they are similar, but you can see that the outer corner is a little bit more, is a little deeper, it's a little more copper. This is a little lighter and brighter. So I'm gonna go with the lighter, brighter one. I'm gonna use the inner corner in the actual inner corner, and we're just gonna pick that up with the A501 brush, and I'm just gonna kind of place it right there in the inner corner. This brush is a little large for the inner corner, so I'm just using the tip of it. High shine, lots of shimmer. It seems to be a little sheer though, which is not a bad thing, but it would be, I think it'd be a good eyeshadow topper. If you wanna build it to get like opacity, you're gonna have to layer it a couple times because you don't really get that right off the bat like a frost shadow. So I'm having to go back and kind of layer to get that opacity. But I think that if I were to put this over another shade, it would just give it the prettiest sparkle. Okay, so now we have that. Now I'm gonna go back and take a little bit more of the crease shade, and now I'm taking the A504 from the Angie Hot and Flashy BK Beauty collection. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that, and I'm just gonna kind of run it over the outer corner and kind of meet my way to the inner corner. So now what I'm doing is trying to blend those two together because there's such a contrast between the two of them. We're basically going from this to this, and I'm trying to make that transition a little smoother. So now I'm just taking a soft but detailed brush, and we're just kind of blending the two together. Okay. So I feel like this is pretty from afar. When I get close, I feel like I'm having to work really hard to blend these all together. Yeah, but it's really pretty from afar. Okay. Moving right along. Now, the one thing that this palette is missing to me is a shade for underneath the brow to highlight the brow. I think the best option, but it's very shimmery, is the Star Glow Highlight Powder. Oops, I'm out of frame here, is this one right here. But when I swatch this on my hand, I mean, it is intense, you guys. I definitely do not want that underneath my brow. So I'm gonna actually skip this palette for the brow highlight. I'm gonna go into my Naked 2 Urban Decay Basics palette, and we're just gonna pop the lightest shade underneath my brow. Nothing fancy, but just to give a little bit of a highlight underneath the brow because I feel like I need it. And we're gonna just use the same A501 brush when I can find it. Okay, well, I have to say I'm kind of on the fence here. I like this, but when I look really close, it looks a little muddied together. So I am going to kind of prime my lower lash line. This is the Butter Shadow Stick from Christian Audette and the Lisa D1 collaboration. It's the shade Naked Birkin, and I just got her collaboration in the mail last week, and I haven't had the time to play with it yet. I just swatched it, and everything is so beautiful. So this is a very light cream shadow stick with a little bit of shimmer, so pretty. I like to kind of lay something like this down first before going in with a deeper shadow, which is what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna go in with the Smoke shade right here from the palette, and we're going to run that across our lower lash line. I just wanted to have something creamy down first to give it something to adhere to so that it was nice and consistent and it didn't look patchy. Well, that's pretty. Okay, that's really nice. I'm using the BK Beauty 204 brush here. So pretty. Okay. I'm kind of creating a nice, like, thick, chunky, smoky line. Having that cream shadow stick down first is going to soften it a little bit too. Okay, so I'm going to pop on a little bit mascara. Pretty, pretty. Okay, let me see how we like it. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think so far down below. When I look at it from afar, it looks really beautiful. I like how diffused. I like that like lighter pink transition shade mixed with the more cool gray tone matte shades. I think it's a really pretty combination. When I get close, I feel like the crease shade is a little patchy. I don't know if you guys can see, I feel like it's a tiny bit patchy, but I don't know, maybe I need to play with it more. Okay, next we're gonna go in with the cream blush, and I'm going to use, which brush do I have nearby? Do I have a brush? Okay, I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 108 brush for this. Now this blush looks a little bit more like, it's a little deeper and a little more red than I typically like, but cream blushes are tricky. They often translate a little different than they look in the palette. So I'm gonna go and just kind of pick it up with the 108. I'm gonna smile, I have a little bit of blush on already. Ooh, that's pretty. That actually looks more pink. Just kind of press it onto the cheeks. I'm a big fan of cream blush, you guys. It just looks youthful. It blends out beautiful. I think once you get to a certain age and your skin starts to, you know, get a little dry or start to show texture, it's just, cream is so beautiful. Okay, that's really pretty and rosy. Let me swatch this on my hand. Yeah, this cream formula is really nice. It's not a thick, waxy, creamy texture. It feels like almost like a cream powder hybrid product. Let me show you guys how it swatches on the skin. I mean, this is how light and sheer it is. It's very light. I kind of dug my finger in there quite a bit too. So this is not going to be like a super rich pigment high impact blush, which is great in my opinion, because I don't think you want blushes to go on that intensely when you first start. But that's pretty. Okay, let's try the highlight shade in here. So it is called Star Glow, and we are going to, let's actually grab another 108 brush. Actually, I don't have one. I'm gonna use the same one, but I'm gonna kind of wipe off the blush. I'm kind of a mess today, you guys. You should see my desk. It is embarrassing. All right, now let's swatch this on my hand, because this product, I feel so two ways about this. This is such a beautiful, beautiful product. So silky. I mean, it feels like silk, and when I close my eyes, it feels like a silky, velvety. I know those are very contrasting, but it just feels so smooth and buttery. Look at the shimmer on that. It is gorgeous. So I want to play with this, but I also don't want this on my face. Let's try it though, because that's what we are doing. I'm gonna try it on my eyes. I think that's where I'm gonna find the most use out of this product. Okay, so the first place I like to highlight is just down the center nose. Okay, so I barely tapped it with this brush and I barely picked it up, and you get a lot of highlight. I mean, that's a lot, right? Let's go out here to the cheekbone. Yeah, see, that's, I mean, it's good for what it's intended to do. It's good quality for what is intended to do. The question is do you like a product like this and to wear it in its intended use, which is a highlighter? To me, that looks too shiny. I mean, it's pretty for a second, but the moment I go and start my day and I have any humidity outside or any of that, I feel like it's gonna be too, I feel like I'm gonna look sweaty and oily. However, I do think that this will be a gorgeous shade on the lid. So let's try that. I'm gonna grab a BK Beauty 207 and we're gonna pop a little bit of this right in the inner corner. It's kind of hard to tell because I already have that inner corner shade and that's so vibrant. Yeah, this would be a gorgeous color on the eyes. That's how I'm gonna use it. My nose, I mean, that is way too much for me personally. I don't know. I think it's too much. I'm gonna go blot it with the foundation brush. And I'm just gonna finish the look by applying a little bit of the BK Beauty lipstick in Acceptance onto my lips, kind of touch up what I have on. And this is the finished look. I'm a little bit on the fence about this palette, you guys. Looking in my monitor, I love the way my makeup looks. I think it looks really pretty. I think the color selection for this palette is really beautiful. I think the formulas are there. I think particularly the blush formula is really nice. I think the face highlighter formula is beautiful. It is a little too intense in terms of highlight for me to use as a highlighter, but if you like a real gleaming highlight, this is pretty beautiful. I will definitely use use that shade on my eyes. As far as the eyeshadow formula goes, now the shimmer shades, the inner corner and the outer corner, the formula is really nice. I find it to be really like shimmery on the lid, but a little more sheer in color. So if you want to build up like that opacity that we talked about, you will need to build and layer it. I think it would look beautiful on top of a shadow to add that extra like sparkle. So the matte shades, I'm a little bit on the fence on and I'm not quite sure. I think, to be totally honest, if I'm giving a 100% honest opinion in this moment right now, I think I need to play with this palette more, because the matte shadows were nice, but they're not the same level that I experienced from other Natasha Denona palettes. I'm particularly thinking about the little 5-pan palettes. I feel like that matte formula is just more rich, more pigmented, and easier to blend out than this. Did anyone else experience that? I feel like this is a highly like hyped up and loved palette. So I definitely want to play with it more. This again is just my first impression to you guys, so take it for what it is. From afar, I think it's really pretty. Up close, I think that, you know, you start to notice a little bit of patchiness, but overall, I would give this palette maybe a 7 out of a 10. I don't know. That's probably where I'd put it. It's not a bad palette at all. It's a good palette, but I have such high expectations from Natasha Denona, like really, really high. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe my expectations are so high. But I hope you found this review helpful. If you own this palette, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. Any tips or tricks for me? Again, this is my very first time using it, so I'm gonna continue to use this. I might have an update in a week or so that I actually love this palette. If I do, don't be mad at me. But I just wanted to sit down and experience my first impressions with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate the time you spend here with me on my channel. I know that I say that in all my videos, but time is so precious and valuable, and I appreciate yours. I think that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.